never thought I'd be that girly, but most of my makeup fits in this little travel bag at this point, and this is my go-to stash. Don't get me wrong, I still have like the big mamma jamma with like my every now and then products, but the reality is my life on the day-to-day has changed, and I had to significantly streamline my life. And that really meant a lot of my makeup. I don't have the bandwidth to really sit there and glam it up every day. I need something simple that I can recreate day to day and look and feel amazing. So what I do typically most days is I like to do a little bit of complexion correction, a little bit of something on the eye, a little bit of something on the lip, and really just bring some color back to my face because I can tend to start getting a little washed out. I'm rosy right now. My bathroom is hot. First, I like to start off with the Jones Road Neutralizer Pencil. This is light peachy pink. I love these pencils. They are so user-friendly and fast. It's a little bit of a firmer formula than something like Merit or the Dior stick, for instance. But because this is a color corrector, I find that when I start with this, I typically need less skin product overall. It really just cuts that discoloration under my eyes, and it honestly brightens up my entire face. Now, the next thing I will say is I've been trying to wear less makeup in general because I find that my skin, I don't have bad skin to start with, but I find that my skin just looks fresher and healthier with a little bit less makeup and product on it. So I have this Pixie Sheer Cheek Gel in the shade Flushed. Now, if you are an Outlander fan, you will appreciate this. This is what the makeup artist for Outlander uses because it is so light and forgiving, and it really just looks like you went for a run. I like to just kind of smush it around with my fingers, but if you really want a natural, soft, glowing cheek, look how beautiful that is. This is amazing for achieving that, and as you can see, this is like out the door, quick, so easy to use. I was already a little bit rosy, but it just gives you that like I went for a run in the snow kind of look. I think it's so pretty. So I like to put a little bit of that on so I have some color, and then now I like to go in and cancel out some of this excessive redness around my nose. This is not something you're going to find at Sephora. It's not at Ulta. This is Face Atelier, the Ultra Foundation Pro. You'll notice it's in a little petite bottle. You're not getting excess bulky packaging. This formula is fantastic. I'm going to roll up my sleeves because I'm kind of hot in my bathroom, and Colorado weather is crazy this time of year. You never know if it's going to be cold or hot. So I'm taking the teensiest little dot on my hand. I'm going to use this Westman Atelier foundation brush, which I love because it is not enormous. Therefore, it packs nicely in my little travel bag. I don't love giant brushes, but I'm just gonna kind of prime the brush a little bit, get that product on there, and just gently feather through, put a little bit under my eyes, over where that color corrector is, and drag it out to cancel some of that excessive redness kind of around my nose on the center of my cheeks. It still looks so skin-like. I love this foundation because it has a bit of a primer in it. I forget what shade I am. 3.5. Honestly, I could have probably gone for 4 in the summertime, but since we were in fall and moving into winter, I just wanted something that I could warm up with some bronzer if I need to, or, you know, it's never going to be too light or too dark. It's kind of a good every season shade for me. But you can see the lightest layer of foundation, almost undetectable. That's really like the name of the game for me. Now, the next thing, because again, I am really all about my skin looking like skin and not like as covered in product right now. I'm going to use some of the Westman Atelier bronzing drops. Oh, I have the first shade, and this is so thin and light. Little dribble, you can see it's really, really liquidy, little bit darker than my skin tone, but this is the most lovely, perfect shade for adding a little bit of color in these cooler months. You'll notice I'm going right where the sun would naturally hit me. I love these drops because they are not greasy at all. They're a little bit hydrating, but they set down to a more matte finish, and I just find them so easy and forgiving to work with. Once they set, they really don't go anywhere. But it's really, I start looking more like I've gone on a little vacation with a little bit of rosiness and color. This is something I've really started to embrace. I never used to be a bronzer girly. I really was so fair for so long, but living in Colorado and I'm outside so much, even with sunscreen, I start to get a little more color to my skin. But I just feel like that looks a little more live. I've got a little more color. I'm going to take some of this Laura Mercier blurring powder, and I'm going to use this brush. This is a Ruby Hammer brush. You may never have heard of this brand. It's fantastic. So I'm going to take a little bit of this Laura Mercier blurring powder. This is the shade Rose, and I'm going to set through, watch what happens, set through the center part of my face. It's like a filter for your face. It's so beautiful. I'm just going to work that into my brush and then set through the center of my face, because that's where I tend to have more oil. You can see my pores a little more. You'll notice I start a little further down and then kind of work that product up so I don't put a bunch of powder under my eyes, because I don't want to look dry and crusty. Definitely set under the bangs because that's where I tend to get more oily. And I put bronzer on my forehead because you can still see my forehead through my bangs, right? Now I always put a little bit of powder right here because it helps prevent mascara transfer, which tends to happen because my lashes hit my brow bone. Just speeding on through this. This is a product that I discovered recently that I just think it adds the prettiest glow. This is the Danessa Myricks low lighting, it's like a low lighting highlighter in the shade Unbothered. Now, what's so amazing about this product, you can see it gives like such a pretty soft sheen, but it has an ingredient called Upsolite, which is like a type of clay, and it helps to absorb oil and sweat. And so also as someone with hair that touches her face throughout the day, I love this product because my hair doesn't stick to it. It just gives me that pretty radiant glow without being like a highlighter that catches my hair and makes it greasy, right? So now let's do a little bit of work on the eyes because again, I don't spend a ton of time fussing with my eyes anymore. So this is part of the Jones Road holiday like party kit. And this, they did like a, these are new, by the way. These eyeshadow sticks are new. This is Cool Taupe. I also have another like brown shade that's really pretty, but this one you can see there's a subtle bit of sparkle. This is still pretty new to me, but I want you to watch. I'm also going to grab my little Merit brush. Again, tiny brushes have my heart forever. I love them, but watch how quick this eye look is. So just kind of going in, it's a very sheer, sparkly kind of formula. Taking that Merit brush, buff, 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 so quick. These shadow sticks are amazing though. They don't crease or smudge, but you can see it just adds a little bit of definition, a little something, something, but nothing fussy. I don't have time for fussy anymore. I just don't. I don't have the mental capacity to fuss with much right now. I'm fussing with a baby and I started homeschooling my 6-year-old, and so my days are just busy and I don't have time to mess with things that are not essential right now. I want to look and feel good. That is essential, but doing like a 5 eyeshadow look, not essential anymore. Quick little smudgy smudge. Love that. The next product is also from the same holiday kit from Jones Road. I'm so glad that I bought this. I love Jones Road products. So this is the gel liner in the shade Espresso. The other part of this Merit brush is this cute little tiny brush. And this is so easy just to swipe on. You can really get along the lash line, which is why I love a gel liner. I will also say these liners do not smudge. They do not run. If you were ever a previous Bobbi fan, the way I was, in her old line, when she used to be a part of it, she also had a gel liner, which was my staple for the longest time, especially as a hairdresser in the salon. You know, you have a hot blow dryer pointed at you for 50% of your day, And so you need makeup that doesn't fall apart and smudge on you, and always had to find things that did not move or run on me. And so if there's one thing I can say, actually, I'll say two things. There's two things I can say. It's that Bobbi Brown knows how to make makeup for the busy woman who wants to look really polished but doesn't have a ton of time. She goes for really high impact but low effort type of products. And her products always are high performance. Not just like the color payoff or whatever, but I'm saying like if you are someone who is blow drying hair all day, or you're a mom chasing your kid and you're kind of getting sweaty, or like whatever it is, her products last throughout the entire day. And I am so appreciative of that. Another Jones Road product, I swear this is not a sponsored Jones Road thing. I actually have bought quite a bit of this recently myself. I just really love Jones Road Beauty. So this is the mascara. This is the only Jones Road mascara right now. Pretty cute little curved brush. I've had this many times before, but it's been a while since I purchased it last. But I just want to show you a couple swipes and you can get a really high impact look without doing a lot of work. Didn't curl my lashes. I did nothing. This brush really does help to hug your lashes and curl them for you. Okay. So this eye has been giving me trouble because I lost a couple lashes right there. So it looks kind of dumb. Give me a minute to work with those a pinch. A little extra work right there. But again, Jones Road products are just made for the busy woman who is like getting ready in a car on the way to an event. Big fan. I always like to kind of go back and forth between my lashes too, because I feel like when you let the mascara dry just a pinch in between coats, it gives it an opportunity to dry and thicken a little bit. And so when you go in with that next coat, it tends to add more impact. I like to use the top curved part of the brush on my lower lashes. I feel like I can get closer without smudging. But yeah, very low effort for a mascara and a beautiful, beautiful result. I will also add to that I am using a lash serum, prostaglandin free, because I used to use those, but now I don't use those anymore because I'm concerned for my eye health long term. I use this Swede Pro Eyelash Serum. It is hormone free, which is huge. I've tried other hormone free lash serums that don't really do that much. This one, I actually feel like my lashes have a substantial amount more length than they normally do. All right, now I'll wipe off my lips. Boop, 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 boop. I'm gonna use a Jones Road pencil. You guessed it. The shades in these lip liners are so fantastic. I actually have two in my bag. I have Tawny Nude, which is like the perfect neutral to me for someone who's kind of a light medium complexion. This does not lean overly warm or cool. I also have this one, which was I think Nude Rose, and this one is a little more pinky. I'll use that one today. I feel like it ties nicely with the blush. I don't do anything crazy on overlining. I just kind of go to the edge of my vermilion border. I do maybe overline a tiny bit on the top, more than the bottom anyway. Kind of smush those together. Now I'm going to use a product that I have also owned multiple of these. They are just like such an easy go-to staple, and I love that they kind of push the artist in you. This is the Western Atelier Lip Suede in Nude. I have also owned the Rouge palette multiple times, which is your reds. There's some pink, there's like a dark brick red and like a neutral rose kind of color. But that palette is so beautiful, especially like for holidays. It's a matte palette. The Nude one, it definitely has more of a kind of glossy finish. So I'm going to use some of this wine Bordeaux shade. I'm going to show you. This palette in particular is a little more light and sheer. A little glossy, which I think is perfect for a more nude lip palette. But as someone who loves to play with paint and, you know, used to be more adventurous with her makeup than she has time for today, I appreciate this palette so much. I think it's also worth noting, like, yes, it is a pricey product. I think this one is $85, but they made them refillable now, so you can pop that out and just buy the refill. And also, you're getting 4 lip colors. It's not like you're just getting one. It really gives you the ability to customize and play. Now I'm going to dip into this like fleshy color right here. Got a little color on my brush. It's very artist palette-y, which I love. This shade in particular just kind of cools things down. But look how pretty that is. Having a little bit of that deeper edge. I'm putting a little bit of that lighter flesh tone through the center. I feel like it has such a nice volumizing effect. It's so forgiving. And that's like, honestly, if you are on a time crunch, you want forgiving, you want fast products. That is basically everything in my makeup bag. This is like the stuff that I grab every single day at this point. The only things that I really didn't use is I have this little baby Westman Atelier mascara, which I love Westman Atelier mascara. It's not as dramatic as the Jones Road. It's a little bit lighter. So if I am just like not feeling a heavy mascara day, this is like my go-to, but it also has a really great longevity. And then I also have my Dior pencil for my brows, which I'll just slap a little on. I don't really need a lot on my brows because I have nano brows that I did, gosh, was it almost 2 years ago? And they have held up beautifully. My artist, she does an amazing job. I honestly won't need a touch-up probably for a couple of years. My brows have held on really well. They've stayed really soft and just kind of true to tone. They're different than microblading. Microblading is where you're going through and cutting the skin, but she actually used a tattoo gun with cosmetic grade ink. So, okay, that is my overall look. This is like what's coming with me when we travel for the holidays, because this is basically like everything I use every day. Also for travel, I do need to pick out a fragrance. I'm a fragrance girly. I love perfume. I love Parfums de Marly. I have some Creed. I have this one, which is fun. It's called An Other. I got this in New Jersey over the summer, and it kind of has this like saffron, leather, and like a cotton candy vibe. It's really different and just special. I love this scent so much. I just got this one. This is called Meliora. If you like florals, you'll love this. It's kind of like florals and berry, and it just gives me like this woodland princess kind of feel. It's a little bit sweet. Very, very pretty. Yeah. I hope that all of you have been doing so well. I am doing well. I'm just adjusting to changes in my life, and I think our routines should reflect that and change with us. If your routine is not serving you, you need to pare it down, figure out what's working for you and what's not. I let go of probably 90% of my makeup that I used to have. I used to have like a full Alex IKEA drawer full of makeup, and it just was not working for me anymore. I had entirely too much. I had decision fatigue constantly. And so by paring back my routine, I think not only do I look better, I feel better because I can go about my day and I'm not so concerned with, is my makeup holding up? Is it cracking? Is it, all over my eyes or whatever? So thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions about these products, please drop them below and I will see you next time. Sorry it's been so long. I'll try to do better about that.